Labels, a short word or phrase descriptive of a person, group, or movement. Over this course, I've noticed that there is a list of labels set upon a group of people, both negative and harsh. But what if we were to look at these labels differently, in a more positive light per se? One that notices that although these labels are put upon this community, there's a constant theme: resistance. Resistance is the theme in these labels, meaning that although these labels are negative, this group of people have been able to persist, exist, and resist the labels put upon them. The first label is La Malinche. She was the multilingual translator for Cortez. Whenever La Malinche is brought up, you get this Gemini-type picture. On one hand, she is synonymous with La Chingadora, seen as a traitor of her people, mother of mestizo nation, a sex slave, and ultimately to blame for the downfall of the Aztecs. However, if we were to look at things differently, she is seen as a survivor. Someone whose story is, as the course reader says, is not a tale of blind ambition, morality play, or racial betrayal, but just a gifted woman in impossible circumstances, surviving the best way she knew how. The next label is Birds of Passage, used specifically to address the Mexican immigrants who came to earn money in the U.S., but would later then return back to their homes in Mexico. However, the Birds of Passage had a deeper meaning, which inferred to the quote-unquote biology of these immigrants, saying that it was in their nature to work in the fields, that they were meant to do this type of work because it was in their biology, because it was innate, to be bent, crouched, docile, and therefore inferior. Using our theme of resistance, Birds of Passage could mean so much more. We resist and we combat this label because instead of being crouched and bent in nature, we are crouched and bent because we are willing to do so. We are willing to work hard while keeping our dreams alive. Birds are also synonymous with freedom, that which we've seen that so many Mexican Americans have fought and died for. And perhaps birds also refers to the idea that we are not restrained from anyone or anything. We are the dreamers, and the limit is not the sky because we're already up there, and the dreamers who also so happen to stand in the culture of giants coming from great civilizations such as Aztecs, Olmecas, and the Mayans. Last label is Pocho, defining the identity of those who were raised in Mexican culture and style but raised in the U.S. For those called Pocho, they sit in constant tension, sitting in between two worlds. Pocho does not fit in either one entirely. The Mexican world tells Pocho, you aren't Mexican enough, and in the American one they say, you don't fit in. But perhaps Pocho is lucky because, like Hannah Montana, Pocho gets the best of both worlds. Finally, Pocho is a perfect example of labels because Pocho doesn't sit in anyone's definition of Latino or American, but walks confidently and happily in their own world and definition that they themselves choose to create. Labels, that which we choose to either see in a different light or like Pocho define that for ourselves. We all come down to one though, human, and it doesn't matter whether your brownness is medium like cinnamon, light like horchata, or dark as chocolate. The point is, brown is beautiful. And if you aren't brown, so are you.